Hello and welcome back to part 8 of our summer adventure, where we finally make it to the turquoise waters of Gorge du Verdon. But on the way back we almost get wiped out by an oncoming car. My favourite part of the day is first thing in the morning when I take Trixie out for a walk in the cool morning air. A quiet walk along the beach with just the waves lapping on the shore is pure bliss, and the simple pleasure of a cup of tea whilst looking out to St Tropez feels so indulgent with these sea views. We had originally booked to stay in the Gorge du Verdon last year, but just a few days before we were due to set off, Jamie had second thoughts. The idea of towing a twin-axle caravan along roads often described as some of the worst and narrowest in France didn't exactly fill him with joy. So we changed our plans and promised ourselves we'd return one day but without the caravan in tow. Fast forward to this year and we made it happen. As we had based ourselves at Camping de la Plage in Port Grimaud for longer this year, we planned a day trip knowing the gorge was only just an hour and a half's drive away. We set off early, and by the time we pulled into the car park near the bridge, just before 9 o'clock, it was already buzzing with activity. Luckily, we managed to squeeze into a shady spot beneath a tree, and to our delight, parking was free. From the beach and car park we wandered up the short track to get our first proper look down into the gorge. Even that early it was alive with energy. People wading in the shallows, brave souls hurling themselves off crumbling cliff edges, and queues forming for electric boats and pedlos. Luckily we had brought our own paddleboards with us so we could explore the gorge under our own steam, but we definitely need to invest in a rechargeable pump for the paddleboards, or one we can plug into the car. If you can recommend any, please do let us know in the comments below. The Gorge du Verdon is known as the Grand Canyon in Europe, and it stretches for over 20 kilometres. It has sheer limestone cliffs towering dramatically on either side. The colour of the water is so intensely turquoise it hardly looked real, like something filtered or painted. After a good few hours of paddling through the gorge, we eventually made our way back to the beach feeling completely exhilarated. We instantly regretted not being more organised though and bringing a picnic lunch with us, as there were lots of people tucking into their picnics. Unfortunately, there wasn't a food hut or cafe anywhere nearby, so unless you'd packed supplies, you had to go without. Lesson learned for next time. I imagine the Gorge du Verdon would be even more magical in spring, before the summer crowds arrive. The water would be calmer and the atmosphere more peaceful, and you wouldn't have to constantly steer around the countless boats and paddleboards jostling for space. After our morning at the Gorge du Verdon, we decided to drive over to the nearby town of Moustiers-Sainte-Marie for lunch. Perched on a hillside overlooking the stunning Lac de St Tropez, the village is only a short drive from the gorge and is famous for its charming streets, artisan shops and little cafes scattered around the square. Unfortunately, when we arrived, it was immediately clear we weren't the only ones with that idea. The place was bustling and every car park and roadside space was completely full. After circling a few times with no luck, we eventually admitted defeat and turned around and headed back to the Caravan. If you're planning to visit Moustiers-Sainte-Marie during the summer months, I think it's definitely wise to arrive early in the day to secure a parking spot. It's a shame we didn't get to visit the town this time, but we've saved it for next time. Do let me know in the comments if you've been lucky enough to visit this town and if it's truly worth a visit. Some of the roads were windy and narrow at times going up to the gorge and coming back down to the campsite, and we're certain we would have lost the back end of the caravan if we had been towing it with this driver who came onto our side of the road.
Jesus Christ, what are we doing? We don't even get in, we're not even looking.
Whilst the roads weren't as bad as we had imagined them to be, there were some tight turns and we wouldn't have liked to have been towing a twin axle caravan on them. Let us know in the comments though if you've braved towing a twin axle on these roads and any campsites you'd recommend. In the evening we strolled along the beach over to the Prairies de la Mer resort to grab some churros, indulging in a little sweet treat as the sun began to set. Join us next time as we continue our caravan holiday in France. Don't forget to check out our previous videos from our mainland Europe adventures this year. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us keep sharing our travels. Thanks so much for watching and take care.